Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Christmas special. Today, I have a heartwarming story to share with you, a tale that takes us back to the very first Christmas morning. It's a story about a little hero with long ears and a gentle heart. Let's begin. Once, in the rolling hills of Nazareth, lived a little donkey named Barnaby. He wasn't the biggest or the strongest donkey in the herd. In fact, he was quite small and a little shy. While the other donkeys would bray loudly, showing off their strength, Barnaby preferred the quiet corners of the stable, munching on hay and watching the world go by. His coat was the color of dust, and his ears, though long and expressive, often drooped a little, as if he was always listening for something far away. One evening, as the sun painted the sky in shades of orange and purple, Barnaby's owner, a kind man, came to him. He gently patted Barnaby's neck. "Little one," he said softly, "I have a very important job for you. A young woman named Mary needs a gentle ride to Bethlehem. Her husband, Joseph, will walk alongside." Barnaby's ears perked up. An important job? For him? He looked at Mary. Her smile was as warm as the morning sun, and he felt a sense of calm. He had never been on such a long journey before, but he knew he had to be brave. He took a steady breath and let Mary sit comfortably on his back. With a final nod from his owner, their long journey began. The road to Bethlehem was not easy. It was dusty, winding, and stretched for miles. They traveled through bustling towns and quiet countryside. At night, the stars were their only light, and the air grew cold. Barnaby's little legs grew tired, but whenever he felt like giving up, he would feel a gentle pat from Mary or hear Joseph's encouraging words. He remembered this was an important job. He carried Mary with the utmost care, making sure his steps were steady and smooth. He was just a small donkey, but he was carrying a great hope. After many days and nights, they finally saw the lights of Bethlehem flickering in the distance. The town was crowded, busier than anything Barnaby had ever seen. Every inn they went to had a no vacancy sign. Joseph's face was filled with worry, and Mary looked tired. Barnaby felt a pang of sadness for them. He wished he could do more than just stand there. Finally, a kind innkeeper, seeing their plight, offered them the only space he had left, his stable. It wasn't much, but it was warm and sheltered from the wind. The stable was filled with the sweet smell of hay and the quiet sounds of sleeping animals. A cow, a few sheep, and some chickens looked up curiously as they entered. Barnaby found a spot near a wooden manger filled with fresh hay. He was exhausted, but he felt a strange sense of peace in this humble place. That night, under the light of a single, brilliant star that shone directly over the stable, something miraculous happened. A baby was born. Mary wrapped him in soft cloths and gently laid him in the manger right where Barnaby had been standing. This was baby Jesus. Barnaby watched in awe. He had never seen a newborn so peaceful, so full of light. The other animals gathered around, their eyes wide with wonder. A gentle warmth spread through the stable, chasing away the night's chill. Barnaby moved a little closer. He wasn't feeling shy anymore. He felt like he was part of something incredibly special. He wanted to protect this tiny baby. He stood guard, his long ears twitching, making sure no harm came near. Throughout the night, visitors came. First, some shepherds arrived, their faces glowing with joy. They spoke of angels singing in the sky, telling them of the newborn king. They knelt before the manger, their hearts full of reverence. Barnaby watched them, understanding that this was no ordinary baby. Later, 3 wise men from the east, dressed in rich robes, arrived. They had followed the bright star all the way to this very stable. They brought gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh, precious treasures for a king. They too bowed before the baby, their faces filled with awe and respect. And through it all, Barnaby stood his silent, steady watch. He didn't have gold or myrrh to give, but he gave what he could. His quiet presence, his warmth, and his loyalty. As the first light of Christmas morning streamed through the cracks in the stable walls, it illuminated a beautiful scene. Mary and Joseph looked at their baby with so much love. The animals were all gathered around, a peaceful and silent congregation. And there was Barnaby, the little donkey, standing proudly beside the manger. He was no longer just a small, shy donkey. He was the donkey who had carried hope to Bethlehem. He was the guardian of the manger. In that moment, Barnaby understood that it doesn't matter how big or small you are. What matters is the love in your heart and the kindness you show to others. Every act of service, no matter how humble, is important. And so, on that very first Christmas morning, a little donkey learned a big lesson. He was an important part of the greatest story ever told. His journey, his quiet strength, and his gentle heart had played a special role. This story of Barnaby the little donkey reminds us of the true spirit of Christmas. It's about kindness, sharing, and the quiet heroes all around us. It teaches us that even the smallest among us can have a huge impact. This Christmas, let's remember the little donkey and carry that spirit of love and service in our own hearts. Thank you for joining me for this special story. I hope it brought a little warmth and magic to your day. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more stories that warm the heart. From all of us here, we wish you a very Merry Christmas and a wonderful holiday season. See you next time.